We got background.
I know. Now, yeah, let's roll. We're only a half hour late, and I got my son going in the background. All right, we're live, buddy. Ready?
Hey, listen, John. Dude. I'm really stoked to do tonight's show with you, man. Are you kidding? I am. I miss you, dude. It's not the same. I was so happy to like hang out in ISTE and Philly and
Oh God, you just
God, what a
froze.
great time. I did? Am I frozen?
You said I'm so, and then you just completely froze. But now you're unfrozen.
I said so many good things about you. Like
Okay,
you
that's
missed
good.
it.
That's good because nobody heard him. Nobody will ever have heard him. All right, wait.
You're the only person besides Sarah the teacher and Tara Linney that I've wandered the streets of Philly to find Tartar, and I call her Tartar now. I'm not even calling her Tortor anymore.
Yeah, I think Tartar's better. Oh, we'll just call her everything. I mean, what is she? She's gonna have every accolade possible pretty soon.
Yeah, she's ADE.
She needs that. She needs the
Who else?
MIE, baby.
She does need the
Executive
MIE.
Educator.
She would love the MIE. The MIE is legit.
Yeah. All right, ready? John, edit here. Hello and welcome to Techlandia. How are you doing today? I am John Samuelson in Portland, Oregon. I have a friend that likes to podcast with me, and he lives in the South Bay, and his name is
Scott Bedley, SCOTTEACH on the Twitters.
On the Twitters. Oh. You can't help it, can you?
I love that.
No, here. Hold on, Scott. Since my phone isn't working for sound effects, I have a natural sound effect. Ready?
What, John?
Ooh, I popped
that
up
real?
a ACI blueberry refresher. Oh, that's good.
Wow, you're like on the health tip, dude.
I am. I'm trying. I love
My tricks don't work on me, only money.
it. What is that one?
My tricks don't work on me, only money.
Oh my God.
I'm rolling with the Star Wars sound effects tonight.
Oh, it's the Star Wars sound effects. Okay, I don't remember that from Star Wars. Was that one of the newer ones that I didn't watch?
That was Star Wars 1, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I don't know. I thought that was the John Spencer. He was talking about money. Talking about cash money.
You remember this.
This is madness.
So many quotable things from Star Wars.
I know. You know what? I'm really excited about the Star Wars movie. I know it's 6 months out, but I'm excited about it, John.
Oh no, I'm totally excited for that. Yeah, I'm pumped. That's one movie that you know what? There was actually a movie I was going to go see.
Boyhood? Boyhood?
Not Boyhood. I wish you would see Boyhood though.
I'm gonna watch it for you like this week.
I own the copy. I bought it off iTunes, but then the bad thing is I can't play it on my Chromecast for Marnie, so she hasn't seen it either. No, I want to see Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Have you heard of that movie?
No.
So it's a book. It's like a book for teenagers, and it's one of the first books that I've read lately. And I don't know. I just wanted to see. I wanted to see it. It looks good. It's got one of my new favorite. All right, so I've been watching Parks and Rec over the summer as I binge watch stuff, and one of my new favorite people. Well, I've got two new favorite people in that one. Nick Offerman, and he's in that movie. And I really like Chris Pratt too on that Parks and Rec. He's hilarious. He is so funny. So all of them are.
What has Nick Offerman been in besides Parks and Rec? That name's yeah.
He hasn't really been in that much. You know what he's I think he's semi-famous for is he's married to Megan Mullally from
Oh, okay.
you know who I'm talking about, whatever that show is. Will and Grace, thank you. I can't even think of it. But anyway, so he's married to Megan Mullally.
Gotcha.
And he's my same age, so I like him.
I actually know Megan Mullally. I actually know who she is, John.
I know. I was surprised you got that reference.
Do I win something?
You know you get the Will and Grace reference. That's so weird.
I don't know. Channing Tatum. What is his name again?
Channing Tatum, and we've decided that Kurt Reeves is the Channing Tatum of EdTech. By the way,
Is he really?
that's what we've decided.
Magic Kurt, huh?
Giving him a new title. Yeah, Magic Kurt.
Magic Kurt XL.
Yeah. So anyway, hanging out in Chicago at Ed Camp Leaders. Okay, so what? Give me some. Let's talk some EdTech here. Ed Camp Leader. What do you think of Ed Camp Leader going on yesterday, July 13th, and today is July 14th? Did you catch any of the tweets coming out of Ed Camp Leader, my friend?
I mean, I saw some from Ed Camp Leader LA,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw like Brett Coley there, who was like,
Oh, good.
I really admire, and we probably presented with him on the queue. And I saw some pictures from like Philly and Chicago. Was obviously you had like, I mean, you had a lot of people in Chicago. I mean, I don't know. I think I saw one from out in New York where Star sax team was out. It was actually
really?
on Long Island or something like that. So I don't even know. How many was there? Were there like 100 of these or like 5 or what?
I want to say I want to say the number 14 pops in my head for some reason, but I could be totally off. But I do know that in Chicago we had Tim Lauer, you had Kurt Reeves, you had Jeff Herb. There's a bunch of good people there.
What's sad is Tim Lauer has to go all the way to Chicago for Leader. Why isn't he up in like Seattle or?
I think he just had family business there, and he figured while he was there, he would go ahead. Tim could have put one on here for Portland, and it would have been great, I'm sure. And then I saw Lisa.
There wasn't
Dabbs.
like Ed Camp, like Milwaukee at all.
No, and every time Kurt posts a picture from Chicago, I just ignore him and say it would be much better in Milwaukee for him. So since Kurt Reeves lives in Wisconsin and never goes to Milwaukee, that's the running joke, people. So I came across something disturbing today.
Well,
So anyway, I do want to say though, for the Ed Camp Leader people, I want to say good. I hope that some of the good leaders out there like inspired some new people that didn't know about Ed Camps. I'm glad that the leaders are finally getting on with Ed Camps like 5 years later, but better late to the party than never is what I say at this point,
I was watching Sarah the Teacher's Periscope from one of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sarah the Teacher periscopes when she gets a pedicure too, so you know what I'm saying? Like, there's never a time when Sarah the Teacher is not periscoping, I don't think. She's like, here, I'm having scrambled eggs.
She's periscoping this right now, John.
She should periscope.
Know that.
She should periscope. She does listen to the show, and she will say, "Oh, nice. Thanks for bagging on me for beating me at Fitbit." And I'm like, "Well, hey, it is what it is. I beat you, fair and square."
It was great to see her out in Philly at SDU. I mean, it was fantastic.
It was. I ran into her a bunch of times. It's all
I know,
over the place,
right?
that girl.
Yeah.
So I ran into something disturbing, and I'm going to make a confession right now. So, Scott, I told you I had a confession.
Oh my God!
Before the show. Okay, so this is a true confession.
Hold on. Let me periscope this.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so there have been occasions when I have maybe humble bragged just a little bit and tried to be mysterious. Yes, it's true. As much as I like to rip on people that humble brag, there are times when, you know what, you do. I just got into Podomatic for like $30 a month, so that's $360 a year.
Hashtag so thankful, John. Hashtag so thankful.
So there's just times when if you pay that much money, you just want people to listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
We have been named, Scott.
What?
Since we're the only two really doing Techlandias right now, we have been named as on 2 different lists for the top podcast that you should listen to by a couple different publications. They're just random people. I know this, whatever. So I figured with all the hubbub going on with like the Reddit CEO dropping out and whatever, you're not really supposed to humble brag on Reddit because you're supposed to post other people's links. But I figured this is another person's link, but hey, it's kind of talking about Techlandia, get a little plug in there. And I was totally shocked today by somebody busting me out for being like, oh, well, the guy that submitted this has a podcast that's on the list. And I was like, whoa, Mr. Whatever your name is. I'm like, hold the phone. So I looked at like all of his comments to see what was going on. It was obviously a guy that liked to brew some beer. So I looked up through all of his Reddit comments, and you can look through all that stuff. So I did a little digging, see how good my Google skills were, and I found that he, in fact, has his own podcast.
Oh.
And it's some kind of crazy, weird podcast that he has going on. But anyway, that's what was there. And I just looked at him and I thought, is he a teacher? Is he this? Is he that? No, he's just some dude with a podcast showing some, like, I don't know. And I was like, how would this guy even know that that's my podcast and that's my Reddit name? And, he said, like, for what, FWIW, submitter, original post, OP, they use acronyms on Reddit. So for what it's worth, the original poster has a podcast on there named Techlandia. And I thought, well, good for you for busting me out. But then I was like, how would you know that? It's just some dude from Texas that has this kind of radical podcast that he does like these video podcasts for. And
he's watching right now, John.
He could be watching right now. And if he does, thank you for busting me out. I deleted the post, by the way, because you scared me. But then I was like, I thought it was just some teacher. I thought maybe like, okay, who are my enemies that would bust me out? And no, just some guy that lives in Austin that has a podcast and heard about Techlandia somehow.
That's crazy. Welcome, crazy dude in Texas.
Small world. So anyway, that'll teach me to humble brag on the Reddit. But yes, there have been a couple. I was just happy that Techlandia gets named. And I'm always kind of shocked that Bedley Brothers doesn't get named. But that just shows you how legitimate these lists are. They're just people. And they happen to bump across some stuff. I think
Bedley Brothers made a little bit of a list on Edutopia for best
all right.
podcast.
You know what? I saw that one, and I was not on that one, so that's good. Who else was on that one? I just stumbled across that one the other day. It was Bedley Brothers, and who else?
Gosh, I don't even remember, John. I'll look right now.
Okay. I think Angela Watson was one of them.
Maybe.
Do you remember Angela Watson from ISTE?
I do.
Okay, so we met her like really briefly, but supposedly she's doing all this different stuff that I'm supposed to know about, but
she was the one that joined our photo.
She joined our photo shoot late and then just went off ahead.
Yeah, she was hanging out with
Techie Turner.
Techie Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the photo shoot was fun, wasn't it? All right, so let's get into some ISTE stuff. Never mind all the humble brag stuff, but I just wanted to say that I'm busting myself out for humble bragging. Thank you to Radical, other podcast guy from Texas that knows who I am. That really scares me. And
let me give you those podcasts, by the way. Ed Chat Radio, Angela Watson's Truth for Teachers.
Okay.
Every Classroom Matters. That's Cool Cat Teachers.
Oh, okay.
Science Underground. Talks with Teachers, and then Moving at the Speed of Creativity.
Oh, yes, Wes Fryer. You can't beat that.
Fryer. I had a chance to meet him, and I said, hey, you were like, hey, this is Scott Bedley. Have you heard of the Bedley Brothers? He's like, no.
He did not say no. Did he say
yes,
no?
Yes, he did. He totally did. He's like, I've never heard of it, which is not surprising. A lot of people haven't heard of it. So.
Yeah, that's funny. You guys are large on the West Coast, though.
Yeah, we've got like 1 or 2 listeners on the West Coast. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So let's talk ISTE. Let's forget talking about podcasts for a little while. By the way,
is this our ISTE wrap-up show, John?
ISTE wrap-up. By the way, what was one of them called? The Truth on that one? The Total Truth?
Yeah.
I guarantee you that they don't have the total truth on their podcast as much as we have the total truth. Right now, I'll give you some truth. Arnie Duncan is getting blasted in some by some big people. And
John, stop it.
And then everybody like forwards me the link and says, "Hey, John, did you see this? Oh, John, you'll enjoy this." I'm like, why am I the only one that's been speaking out about how bad Arnie Duncan is and I'll say it to his face. I tag him in tweets all the time. Somebody, John Spencer said to me, well, at least Arnie Duncan writes his own tweets. I want to be like,
You know how else writes their own tweets? You know who
Who?
else writes their own tweets?
everybody.
It's
Everybody that has sense.
Mr. I don't have sound effects.
You did that. You really did that to me while I was drinking my soda,
I did.
Mr. Technology. All right, and Jeremy invented Digital Learning Day. At least he did something during Arnie Duncan's tenure. Arnie Duncan didn't even do anything during Arnie Duncan's tenure. Oh wait, he played some awesome basketball at the celebrity.
Listen,
Celebrity.
no one makes a layup like Arnie.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good at. I've never denied that he's really good at basketball.
You haven't, John.
But yeah, I'm loving some of the like end of his term posts that are coming out, and just saying that he's one of the worst secretaries of education in like history, and he's going to change the position forever because he abused his power so much that they're like doing little checks and balances and taking it back.
But John,
So-
he was participating in Ed Camp USA.
He did show up, and I heard that he tried to understand what was going on. And I asked Adam Bello seriously. I said, "No, seriously, did he really understand what was going on?"
Gong.
He's like,
Sorry.
he's sorry. That was for the Adam Bello. He's like, he kind of did. He was like, he was trying, but he just came in right at the end and posed for pictures with everybody.
Well, he's a good-looking guy.
He is. He is the George Jetson of EdTech.
Speaking of
I
George,
don't even know what that means. Speaking of George,
we didn't get to go hang out with George Kuros at ISTE. I'm a little disappointed.
was he there?
Well, supposedly, allegedly.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him. I didn't see George Chris.
I think I saw him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think I saw him when I was walking through. You know the main lobby area that had also the like playground area, and then upstairs was the Bloggers Cafe.
Sure.
I think I saw him down there. I think, weren't you with me? And I'm like, hey, there's George Kuros. No?
No, I wasn't with you.
Oh, okay.
Because I would have stopped and talked to him. And number
He
one,
was there. I
Number
was afraid he
one.
wouldn't recognize me again, and I was like, couldn't deal with that, emotionally.
number one, you would know it's George Kuros because this is the sound you hear as he walks down the hall. And then number two, you would be devastated by his charming, dashing good looks.
Well, he was good looking.
Yeah. He's always good looking. How's that working out for you, George? Great. So anyway, John Spencer was telling me he's like buddies with George Kuros now.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's what he's. Can't talk about a humble brag. John Spencer couldn't stop humble bragging about George Kuros and how they ate at Applebee's once during the Super Bowl.
Hey,
And I
listen.
said, "Is that really what you want to tell me? You want to tell me that you ate at Applebee's? That's the only restaurant I won't eat at, and I'm a fat old teacher." That's the
John,
only one
if I even got a chance to eat with George Kuros, we supposedly had a date. Didn't we have a date with him at the Reading Terminal Market?
Yeah, weren't we trying to schedule that? It shows how much he doesn't listen to grumpy old teachers, huh?
I guess. You know who is
George.
listening right now? Please give a shout out to our
Okay.
favorite, number one, awesome teacher out there, Craig Ann.
Craig Yann. Craig Yann in the house.
Love
Where?
Craig Yann.
You know what? I want to know what Craig Yann doesn't sleep.
What sleep? Sleeps? Who
Sleeps
needs
for-
to sleep?
Right, you'll sleep when you're dead. That's all I gotta say. That's Craig
right.
Yann's philosophy. He's like, there's too much to learn out there. There's too much going on.
John,
Well, anyway. Oh yeah, this
this
just
just in.
Father Tim.
He just increased his sleep hours to 14 hours a day, and he does weightlifting while he's sleeping. It's incredible.
Oh wow, that's good. I know. I saw. You can put one of those little belts, right? Those little strap things. And you can
He
do
was
some-
mad at us because we didn't come out with grumpy old teachers for him to work out to.
Oh, he's so sweet.
Sorry,
Love it,
Tim.
Tim. Sorry, Tim. We'll get there for you. All right. So, what do you want to? What was your big takeaway from ISTE? Give me your big takeaway from ISTE. I have many takeaways. Some of them bad that I can't say on air.
Takeaway,
Some
John.
of them great.
Uber is awesome.
You know what? My big takeaway. There's one of my not great takeaways. Uber, take my credit card on the app. You stinkers would not take my credit card. I couldn't pay for it. I did like mooch Uber off everyone.
I had a lot of different takeaways, small, large, what have you. Um, I really, really, really loved. I had a chance to meet some people, and to me that was the most important part of ISTE. Is I went to some sessions and things like that, but meeting some incredible people. I don't know for you, John, if that was where you were at, because you did a lot of poster sessions, but it was just the people that you get a chance to talk to.
By doing a lot of poster sessions, do you mean hijacking?
Hijacking a lot of we hijacked one. That was fantastic, right?
Oh yeah, we hijacked one the first day.
I love that.
And the last day.
I love that.
I love that. So what we mean, people, is you know how there's things that happen, and there's poster sessions, boards that go empty. And so the night before, I looked at my wife and I said, you know what, I've got some posters. I'm going to go buy some thumbtacks real quick and bring them with me. And if there's some empty space, I'm going to tack up some stuff. Luckily, Scott found some the first. I didn't bring him with me the first night, but we did a global school Playday one the first day, and it was awesome. We set up some computers.
Major credit to Sarah, the teacher. She gave me those pins.
Yeah, there we go. So we pinned up some T-shirts and talked about global school Playday. It was awesome. Got some people to sign up. We probably got like 12 or 13 people to sign the pledge, didn't we?
Yeah, at least. Which was because we had started like far later than the actual poster sessions. We had already been walking around and then saw the booth and we're like, it's empty. Let's grab it and go for it. Let's hack ISTE and make it happen. Yeah. And I think Christina Luce was like taking pictures of us and tweeting it out, which was funny.
Yeah.
So
it was good. It was good fun. It was good to do that. We did that the last day too. That one was more of a we caught you the first time kind of thing, and then they let us go ahead, and Ben Wilkoff let us go ahead and do the second day, the last poster session. There's really not a lot of people there on the last day. It's
hard to be yelled at by Ben and have him just like scold you for doing that. And it was tough. It was. I cried that first night.
And Scott's totally kidding. Ben said, "Hey, do you want to do some more? We have a bunch of open sessions." I said, "I know you do. That's why I wanted to come in there."
No, so, Ben was honestly awesome, and
Ben
totally
was very nice about it.
Yeah, for sure.
I will pledge this to Ben right now, who is part of the Denver ISTE thing. Number one, an ISTE in Denver is one that I will definitely go to because I have free room and board for that with my in-laws. So I am planning to go to that one. So I will throw out there also. I think some of the better sessions that I saw were ones where people kind of teamed up and then didn't do everything themselves. So if there's anybody, I've already talked to Sarah, the teacher, about like teaming up on some if she wants to go to ISTE and if she's sure she's going. Because I'm definitely sure I'm going this next year. So maybe we should team up and do some sessions. So if there's anybody out there that wants to team up, let me know. I'm game. Scott Bailey. I don't know if Scott Bailey's going now.
Dude, of course, I would love to team up.
That's about the closest. No, I was going to say, well, you know how it was supposed to be originally be in LA, but now it's in Denver. I didn't know if you could go.
I think it's going to be a road trip. As long as I can bring my family, I think that's one of the things I want to do this year.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what Denver allows me the option to do. We can stay with our in-laws for free and bring my family. So that's a no-brainer for me. So anyone that's in Denver,
you know what else Denver allows you to do?
What's that? We can't say. Yeah, we know.
Team up.
Yeah. Let you get some. You can get some there.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, John? Back to ISTE though. The people that I really had a chance to be inspired by was I met and I saw her present. She did like a little Ignite session that was part of this global education deal.
Right.
And her name is Amy Schaefer, and she's part of the Wonderment.com. So if you want to go and check out something really cool, it's called the Wonderment.com. And I was so blown away by what her and the group of people that are at Wonderment.com are trying to do. Is they're trying to crowdsource student solutions to global issues. and actually make their solutions happen for other schools, kids around the world. Whatever the issue is, they're trying to actually give the kids the funds and the means to make those things happen. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome what she's doing. And it's not just her, it's a group of people, but she was the one that came up and just shared about the whole deal that they were doing with Wonderment.com. And I was just like, man, this is what is a huge takeaway for me from ISTE that I want to bring back to my classroom and use in my classroom and have my kids actually make a real global impact, not just a kind of fictitious one where we hope to like promote an issue or whatever, but just really challenge and make a difference in the world, which is really super cool.
So it's wonderment.com?
Wonderment.com, yeah.
Okay. I can tell because you're like moving your arms so much. I can hear like your microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like going, no, I'm just saying like you got really animated there. You were like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You were doing your Star Wars sound effects when you didn't even know it really.
I think it's thewonderment.com.
The Wonderment. All right, I'll check
thewonderment.com.
Or we could have Craig again check it in a second.
Craig, would you check that for us?
Thewonderment.com. Okay, that's good. Well, all right. So I'll tell you there were many good things about this ISTE. Number one, the fact that I saw these people presenting and they looked so stressed and that I didn't have to present was awesome, and it let me enjoy it a little bit more. And
I heard you humble bragging about that a little bit, John.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, yeah, usually you'd humble brag about something that's like, I don't know, something that's special, but like not presenting at ISTE is very average, so it's not something to brag about. But anyway, I really liked Oliver Shinkton.
Oh gosh, man, that guy's amazing, right?
And then the thing is,
I love that guy.
We did so much with him that first day. It is thewonderment.com.
Yeah, thewonderment.com. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's a nice looking website too.
Really nice.
So Oliver was really cool, and then we just never hung out with him again, or at least I never saw him again. So I feel like I have to start the Voxer convo with him now. Like I said, in fact, you're supposed to give me his what's his Voxer handle?
I'll give it to you right now over there. I actually got pizza with him. I got pizza with him the last day.
Right, so. I saw that. Well, yeah. So Vox me his handle so I can talk to him. But I really liked Oliver. I liked his enthusiasm for stuff, and I think he has just a good handle on what's going on. Like, I'm going to stop teaching.
Guess what? He's Shink 10 on the Vox.
Okay. So he's just like, I am going to stop teaching because I don't feel like what we're doing is preparing students for their future. And he's like, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to go around and help people for a year. And then he ended up trying to do this website, and then it led to a whole job with LinkedIn for him. Yeah. So it's an interesting story. A lot of people wouldn't have the guts to do all that stuff. That guy.
Yeah. I mean, he has the best heart, and I know there's a lot of people with great hearts out there. That guy is just amazing. I gave him, like, when I saw him.
Father Tim has the best heart, though.
You know why?
Not only because he works out constantly, but he's just an all-around good dude.
He is. And did you know his wife's now listening to the show?
Oh, really? Hi. What's her name?
Her name's Mary.
Mary Bedley. Let's give a shout out to the kids too. Give us a shout out because they look so good at Angel Games. So tell what's the whole Bedley family over on the up on the North Bay.
They're on the East Bay, actually.
Oh, the East Bay. I'm sorry. They live in San Bernardino.
I better check and make sure it's okay. The whole kid thing. I don't know. That's a little.
Oh, okay, all right. So we have Tim and Mary, huh?
Yeah, Tim and Mary.
Gosh, it just sounds like such an all-American family right there.
They are. They are absolutely.
Does she spot him when he works out? Mary, Mary, keep him in line. Keep him in line. We don't want him overexerting himself. He is, the ARP card is in the mail. So
I know she's been enjoying a lot of our ribbing that we give to Tim. So maybe we should just have one show where all we do is it's dedicated to Mary. We just make fun of Tim the whole time then. So that'd be good. Did you see Mike Trout, by the way, tonight? Mike Trout, back-to-back MVPs, John. I'm just going to point this out really fast. He is the Mickey Mantle of this generation, by the way. Opposite field off Zach Greinke. That was sick.
I have a lot of people. You know, what was funny was somebody came up to me at ISTE and said, I was so happy you cut out your sports talk for 5 minutes on that one episode where you came in and said you were cutting out all this basketball talk.
Who said that? I don't know who it was. I'm going after them.
They said keep the sports talk down to a minimum. So I just thought I'd let you gush about Mike Trout real quick.
John, let's talk about Chicago Bulls. Who said that?
Let's not talk about the Chicago Bulls.
Let's not talk about the Phillies.
So it was a great game though that we went to.
It was a great game.
It was a good time. So who else? All right, so I will give my one. So I went to a lot of poster sessions. That was my main focus. I went up to the Bloggers Cafe. I went to Reading Terminal Market and ate a whole lot.
Oh gosh,
and,
man, that Philly cheesesteak place. I just called it a chili cheesesteak. Yeah, that Philly cheesesteak place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that was insane.
So you weren't there. You weren't there the one day. So we ate later. So the story goes on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I was man enough to go there and eat a cheesesteak for breakfast every day. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, I was there all 3 days. But I went at 10 o'clock on the Wednesday. I think I was late getting there. The shuttle buses were running late or something from the airport, but at least they had shuttle buses from the airport. And the owner dude was there from the cheesesteak place. And so this girl comes up and goes, yeah, okay, well, I'd like a Philly cheesesteak, please. And he just looks at her and he goes, honey, you're in Philadelphia. It's just called a cheesesteak. So he was just told, but he would do that. It wasn't just her. That's the one I remember. He did that to everybody. So that guy that would come around afterwards and that was his boss.
He gave me a hard time for eating like a egg sandwich from another spot.
Right. So yeah. So anyway, so Jim's boss came in and he was just hilarious. And then his daughter was getting ready to work there too. It was pretty funny. So anyway, but yes, that was a good one. The cheesesteak place over at Reading Terminal Market. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll tell you in a second because I'll look it up. And then
that's right near that entrance. That was so good.
Well, we also got the Amish food. The one day, so the Amish apple dumpling, I'm telling you, is like one of the best things. Matt, one old kid that was with me, just said, "I'm going to have to wait 4 more years to get one of these." And I said, "I've waited 4 years for this one. Are you crazy?" I'm like, I'm like, now you know how I felt. But
yeah, I bought like a half a dozen Amish donuts for him.
That's right. So it was Carmen's famous hoagies. Famous Italian hoagies was where we ate, and then the Dutch eating place is the Amish place.
Yeah.
So anyway, but it was good stuff there. But the best session I went to by far that has me totally jacked is the ready for this one, and I'm gonna do a little trumpet for you. Oh, that's a horrible horn. The Microsoft vendor-sponsored session was my favorite, and it was a 2-hour session dedicated to advanced Minecraft with a bunch of people. and I'm telling you, I think that Microsoft.
This is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
I think Microsoft has got it right with the Minecraft purchase. I mean, I know they purchased Minecraft for a lot of money, but holy cow, the people that they had in there, Scott, were legit.
Legit, right?
The presenters, like they were good presenters, and
they weren't messing around. I'm telling you.
No, they weren't. And then Diane Main just comes wandering in and like to help out a little bit, and you've got all these great people in there, and they let you play. They gave you challenges. They had the surfaces set up with the mouse, and I mean it really made me think. I was trying to buy my daughter a PC when I got back just so she could play Minecraft correctly, because the Mac that we've been running it on has been letting her down. But I just don't have the money for it, I guess. So it's too bad. But I fixed it out for her. But I'm about to after we get off the air and tomorrow I'll get my own personal Minecraft account during the day. I think that there's a lot of possibilities. And like I said, I showed this to Scott before, but got 2 books on Minecraft right there.
Mastering circuit. What is that? Mastering circuit.
Mastering circuit power, and that's the one with the redstone, and that's what they took us through, creating circuits with Minecraft and doing it that way, and just the stuff that they did in the 2 hours with not a lot of talking, just a lot of like go and play.
Yeah.
Go and do something.
I mean, don't call it a comeback, John. I've been telling you.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback. The other thing that I learned, my other takeaway is that Sway is just one of the cooler presentation tools out there that's coming up, and I've seen more and more people on Twitter talking about Sway.
Yeah.
Like a presentation that turns into a website. It's pretty darn cool. I've never seen that before. Have you seen that, Scott? Where that you can build a website, but then you can make it into a presentation to present to people too. That's pretty slick.
I mean, yeah, it's really. I think they got that right, and Microsoft gets a lot of criticism, but I think they've got Skype going on right now. I think they've got Sway going on, and I don't want to be a sales guy, but I think they've got a lot of good stuff going out there, and we love other products that are great by other companies like Apple and Google and things like that, but I think people are overlooking some of the cool stuff that Microsoft is doing just because of whatever reputation it has in the past.
Yeah, it's I think one of the things that I've learned this summer so far, and we just got back from our week-long training in Arizona, is this teacher wanted something that it didn't work for her, and I went, gosh, and I tried to kind of dial back in the memory, and I'm like, VoiceThread would do what you want. And so she told me what she wanted, and I hadn't visited VoiceThread for maybe 3 years, Scott, and I went in and looked at it. They'd updated it. It was just as well, if not better than it used to do. And, it's just sometimes you've got to revisit some of these things that you think are completely dead.
Yeah.
They come back, and I've been saying this a long time. Like I remember when I was literally making Animotos like 7-8 years ago, right? And they were cool back then because it built in all the transitions. And then you realize that kindergartners can do it, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at this Animoto." And I'm like, "Okay, well, Animoto's done. I'm done with that," But I don't know. It made me think that I've seen so many people talking about it. Maybe I should make it just a little revisit and just touch in and not just dismiss stuff just because it used to be kind of, you've got to keep an open mind and keep refreshing with stuff. I think you've got to, because if they're a legit company, they're going to keep trying.
Of course.
So I think Microsoft is doing a good job right now, and they had a young Scott Bedley working the booth for Skype, dashing, handsome. I've got my button right there with me looking like I was trying to get my face plastered on Mount Rushmore. So winner, Scott, I'm telling you. So those are some things that are there.
And John, I think to me, it's not about a company, but it's about the right tool for the job. Yeah. So not to overlook anyone, like whoever it is, pick something that's best. And I think a lot of teachers talk about, especially the teachers that are like tech forward, they're like, I just want other teachers to be into tech, but then they get caught up in this, like, it has to be this company or this company. No, it doesn't. It needs to be whatever inspires each individual teacher, whether it's a Microsoft product, an Apple product, a Google product, just drive them forward into this new age,
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. It's like when I saw, were we talking about that last time where we saw the, I saw Caripo talking about like the Apple versus Google thing, and I'm like, why is it Apple versus Google?
No.
And he was like, don't.
Why are we fighting that battle?
Right.
Like,
and he said, don't take it so literally. He's like, it's just in fun. And I'm like, okay, but I'm like, that kind of perpetuates the stereotype a little bit, when you see things like that then, because maybe people that aren't like us, that are super techie nerdy people, see that and they go, oh yeah, it's got to be Apple or Google. It's got to be Chromebooks or iPads. When all we've been trying to tell people in our school district is it's both.
And
maybe some BYOD of other stuff on top of that too. But I mean, it's not maybe, it's yes, BYOD stuff on top of that too.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be interesting. But yeah, so the Minecraft really got me inspired, and
that's cool, John.
Yeah, I really like that session, and you know what? Next time, I'll either blog about it, and people hold the phone. Hold the phone. Wait, let's see. John Samuelson wrote 2 blog posts today.
What? No.
I'm going to start blogging. That's my goal. So go to techlandiaradio.com.
It's a trap!
It is a trap. They're going to be... Who is that one?
It's Java.
Is that? Oh, that was Java. I was just, okay, that's. I can totally hear it now. I thought that was that one commander, that Commander Akbar or whatever.
Impressive. Most impressive.
That was a sound effect you should have used for my blogging right there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get in there.
Okay, so anyway, but yeah, so if you go to techlandiaradio.com, you can even go to iPadSammy.com because that's a little bit, but whatever. Go to techlandiaradio.com and we're going to post the new shows.
I still love iPad Sammy. I'm just saying, John.
Apparently, a lot of people in Arizona do too. They can't stop. They can't give it up for me. So I'm just like, oh, whatever. Call me whatever. I don't care.
Just you were in Arizona. What are you talking about?
Of course,
Who
I
were
was
you in
in
Arizona
Arizona
with?
Tony Vincent, my friend.
Nice.
Tony Vincent gets mad now because I only will call him Tony Vincent. He's like, "Can I just be Tony?" And I'm like,
No,
you're Tony Vincent." And come to think of it, I pretty much call you Scott Bedley. I don't ever call you Scott, do I?
who?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. And we don't call Tim Bedley. We call him Father Tim. And we don't call Jeremy McDonald Mr. McNology. We call him Mr. McNology.
Tim is out watering his kale right now, just so you know, John.
That's right. I mean, we are on a little bit earlier for Tim this time, so. See,
yeah, he's pretty much dead asleep at this point.
You have 11.
I'll tell you what, John. I painted my living room with my wife,
Okay.
and we watched. Tim Bedley has a video.
Wait a second. Scott, you're supposed to use a paintbrush for that, not your wife. Okay, go ahead.
Oh God, I love this show. So I watched. Tim Bedley has probably one of the best tutorials on painting. He's got like 72,000 views on it. I think the most views I have on any YouTube is like 23. He's got 72,000 or 75,000. I don't know, in the 70s. Craig, would you check that for me? He's got like tons of views on how to paint. If you just search Tim Bedley or Father Tim painting tips, it's amazing. But it is a really great video.
So what does he paint in the video?
He paints, actually, this is insider information, he paints the bedroom in his house.
Oh my God. So we could see Tim Bedley's bedroom?
You could.
How does he... I just want to know how he paints around all the exercise equipment that's on the walls.
That's a totally different room.
Oh,
He's
okay.
He did an add-on for that, John. Come on.
Okay. I was gonna say because he's got like the stuff that's there. He's got like the the Rocky dun dun dun. He's got.
What was awesome? I think he has a video of guys bringing in the exercise equipment, and you should see how big those guys are bringing in the weights. He had to bring in some amazingly thick dudes just to bring the weights in. It's sick, dude.
Oh, Tim. Tim, change your workout to cardio now, please.
You're at that point, bro. Take off the leg weights and add them to your arms.
You're 40 minutes in. Go to the cardio machine now. Tim Bedley.
Mary, laugh right now. Mary, laugh right now.
Mary, quit spotting him and go take a break. I know it's been hard for 40 minutes of free weights, but that's what you got to do. Yeah, no, I've got to see this video now. I mean, I remember you talking about it, so.
It's great. You know, honestly, if you're ever painting a room, John, which I know you're a good painter too, right?
I was. That's how the conversation started. I told you I used to be an outdoor painter. Then the funny thing was, how I got my promotion to assistant manager. I was painting.
Good at tarping things.
I was good at tarping things. I was painting this old house. I feel like Bob Vila now. I was painting this old house. Yeah. And we missed a spot, and I needed to go up there with the roller bucket, right? So this guy puts this thing up real quick, and it starts to rain. Well, he put the ladder up into like the garden of like mud, so it started to rain, and my ladder started to sink, and I was
What?
already up on the top, trying to like roll this like little part that he missed out, and so I could see it going, and it goes onto the window, like the part of the, and so I'm on like this next to top step, and it's on the window frame, and the frame starts, you could hear it start to crack because it's an old house. So I'm like, I've got a 5-gallon bucket, and I'm on the second step. So I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm 18 years old.
Feeling about this.
Exactly. So I start to go down, and seriously, Scott, I go right through the window.
What?
And so what I did, so what I did was, instead of going through the window,
Is this like a Hollywood
and you
movie
can-
or something?
you can see it right here. Look, you can see. Let's see if you can see my little scar right there. So let's see. Wait.
What?
No, I don't think you can see it. I grab like a shard of glass. I grab like the frame and like get a shard of glass stuck in my wrist.
What?
This is
and I-
madness.
And I jump with the 5-gallon bucket.
Wait,
I
you've got a
jump-
shard of glass in your wrist. You've
Yeah.
got paint everywhere. You're
Yes.
jumping with a 5-gallon bucket.
I swear to God, this is all true. So I jump into the yard with the 5-gallon bucket. Now I never spill the 5-gallon bucket at all. It just hits the ground, and then it just explodes everywhere though. And so it explodes, and I do like a little somersault thing, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't just go through that window. I should have gone through the window. Like there's no way, like the laws of physics, like I kind of saw it and just took off that way. And so I had this like little like scar still in my wrist from that. And so the best part is I was okay, and I went up into this old lady's house, and I was going to like wash off my wrist. And so when I washed off my wrist, I like everything hit me, and I fainted, and I woke up in this lady's cat dish, and she looked at me and she goes, "Sonny, I can't help you up. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get up on your own." And it's like one of those weird, like I faint all the time. So I was like having like one of those dreams, and all of a sudden I'm like in a cat bowl, cat food's everywhere, and I'm like, where am I? It's the most disorienting thing ever. But right, so that's what. So then they didn't even take me to the hospital for that or anything. They just, because then you just fall backwards and clunk your head. But yeah, that's my painting story. Then they promoted me to assistant manager, and I got a company, a little truck, and everything. They're like, we can't have you falling off ladders anymore. Like I was notorious.
Like, he's gonna sue us. Let's promote him so he doesn't sue us.
Right. It was great. That was a great job though, because I would just go. I'd get up early in the morning. I'd write my own time card. Got to work like 60 hours a week. Got paid overtime. Had the little yellow truck that I drive around. Campus Corps painters.
Oh my gosh.
That's my story.
Hey John, what else did you take away from ISTE besides like
Minecraft? I think that I think I just took away the fact that there's a lot of good people out there doing a lot of good things. It was an enjoyable ISTE for me. Yeah. I think that one of the things was on Sunday, I really liked being up in the Bloggers Cafe and talking to people that first day before it kind of got really busy with everybody there, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right. And then after I went up there Monday, it just seemed too crowded. And I didn't really go up there again, to tell you the truth. I was just like, oh, that's too many people. It's like, and then there were a lot of people, I think, just
I never realized the Blogger Cafe was like the cool kids hangout.
Right, so it turns into kind of the cool kids hangout. And then the thing that I thought was interesting was there's just a lot of people chasing it, really. They think they're gonna, I don't know what they think they're gonna do. They're chasing the dollar, it seems like. And really, I think that what they need to do is just chase what's good for students. Yeah. I feel like some people lose their way and they're like, ooh, yeah, I'm with this person and I'm a this, that, and the other thing. And, and some people would come in and they wouldn't even say hi. They'd be like, oh, okay, here, you know what? You can do this and get a free subscription to this. I'm like,
John, there is like in your, like you have a lot like more ISTE experience than I do. Is there a lot of companies? To me, what struck me about Bloggers Cafe is there was a lot of cool kids, and there was a lot of company CEO, startup type of people in there, networking in there. that
Mhm.
I guess I expected in the bloggers cafe to see some blogging going on, and I don't
Right.
think there was one person blogging in there. I mean,
No.
if there was, that's shocking to me. But
Yeah. No, and I think that might be a new thing where they just kind of set up in there. There are people actually setting up kind of booths in the bloggers cafe, weren't there?
yeah, I mean, it
And
felt like it.
it was interesting, and I think that's a smart way to get around probably the big fees. I mean, did you see the people that were outside of Reading Terminal Market, like on like just set up a table and were like it was like their own little booth, but it was
Uh,
outside in the heat. I thought that was crazy.
I did, but I was selling like souvenir T-shirts.
No, there's an actual like vendor out there. It was really funny, and they were trying to pitch people just like on the way, people that were coming back and forth from the station.
Hey,
It's
listen, God
crazy.
bless them,
Yeah,
dude.
I
That's
know.
great.
They're trying. I mean, they have a dream just like anyone else, right? I mean, who are
Yeah,
we? But I remember when we saw the Pitch Fest. The Pitch Fest was a little disappointing to me. Um,
a
I
little.
just okay. The Pitch Fest was disappointing to me. As a person that worked at a startup last year and that has given actual 5-minute elevator pitches to real life investors, those people that were in the first group, and I mean, good for you for trying. And I know that they had their stuff, but there's no way they would have lasted in any kind of a pitch that would have, if I would have done that kind of a pitch, even just like my first pitch when I used to do those, there's no way I would have survived. They would have fired me.
John,
They
how
would
do you
have
feel
fired me.
about Prezi? How do you feel about Prezi after those first pitches?
Yeah, I mean, right, they're giving their decks basically with prezis that they don't even know how to like enlarge to the whole screen. It just seemed kind of, you've got to practice your pitches. That's not like an Ignite. I feel like an Ignite should be more free flowing and not as polished, but a pitch fest, that's got to be polished, and bam bam bam, you've gone through that stuff.
Yeah, it
So
was it
yeah,
was interesting to see for sure.
it was interesting. I wonder who won. I'll have to look it back up and see if it was any of those people from the first one that we
I
went
mean, there
to.
was one out of how many that were there that was actually. I mean, think Matt, you and I were like, okay, that person actually has a real legit idea.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I talked to one of the people on Twitter today, that the guy that did that app for coding, and he's like, oh, I didn't know you were there. Like, he started talking to me and he wanted me to put it on my app for coding list. And I did. He's like, oh, I didn't know you were there. And I'm like, why would you know I'm there? I'm like, who am I anyway? Right. I was actually
what do you
sitting right
mean?
behind you. Right.
You are the John Samuelson. Are you kidding?
Right. Well,
At JONSAMUELSON on
the Twitters.
Twitters.
But right, I mean, at that point, I could have been a judge for some of those, and I would have been a little bit harsher. But some of the judges really, I thought, knew what they were talking about a little bit.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. The judges
So,
didn't seem like they knew, and they asked the right questions. So.
I really like the beacons too. The beacon technology. I think that beacons are going to be a thing, and maybe not in the next couple years, but I think they should be.
Well, Tim
Um,
Lauer's been on it for like 5 years, so at
yeah,
about
I mean,
year
that's how I know
10
it's
of
good.
Beacons, then you know it's going to be coming legit because
Right.
he's about 10 years ahead of the game.
That's right. So in 10 years, beacons will be a thing. But right now, Tim Lauer is using them, and I didn't know that beacons were like a subscription service that you would have to pay for monthly. That really disappointed me because
Yeah.
I swear if they had said you've got 8 beacons and you can have these 8 beacons and program them to do what you want for $225, I might have bought them. But then
Right.
the fee afterwards, just like of $25 a month to do that stuff, scared me a lot.
That could be, yeah.
I mean,
significant.
how cool would it be to sit there and go, okay, here we've got this. I'm going to put a beacon right by the doorway, and then parents that come in with their smartphones get like the newsletter for your school, or get like the happenings or whatever, or say thanks for coming to our school. Here's a map, or here's what's going on. Blah blah blah. That's what the beacon technology does.
Right.
So, yeah. Here, hold on. What else was I've given a ton of stuff. Give me some more of your stuff for Misty.
I think one of the probably the best things for me at ISTE was just hanging out and actually hijacking a poster session with Oliver Shinkton. I think the fact that he actually he's such a great guy. He didn't want to break any rules, so I'm like, come on, Oliver, let's just hijack this booth and start talking about Global School Playday. I mean, that was so much fun. I really liked connecting just with people. It was interesting to go and see some people that I haven't seen speak before, and just see their presentation style, and that was pretty cool. But I think the poster session's really what I took as far as the content wise. I took the most out of those poster sessions. So
Yeah, I really like the poster sessions, and it just gives you a chance to talk to people a little bit more, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw a lot of them. There's a lot more that I wanted to see that I didn't. But yeah, it's just like interesting things that you didn't think were out there. But yeah, it was an enjoyable conference for me. It was very enjoyable, much more enjoyable than San Antonio when I had a lot of pressure when I just started working for the startup and I was trying to drive people to the launch of the product. And
right.
oh my gosh, I kept thinking, like that whole time I kept thinking, I quit teaching, I quit my safe job for this moment, and it didn't turn out to be that moment at all. But that moment, I don't know. It just, I don't know. Well,
Did you see anything on the exhibit floor that just blew you away?
I like the beacons.
I really like the 3 doodler.
You like the 3 doodler. To me, I don't see that one working for me personally. But I know that you guys were all over the 3 doodler.
I love the 3 doodler.
Yeah.
I would buy a set of those for $1,000 in the second.
Yes,
So-
yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I would like to see you. You should crowdsource those. I would like to see you buy those and see what you could do with those.
I see a lot of potential mathematically with them that I think would be fantastic. But until you get them in your hands, those are one of those tools you're like, is it really gonna create an impact that I want to, or is it just gonna be gimmicky?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of gimmicky stuff there, John.
There, you know what? I guess the other thing that I took away from the floor was besides my nice new purple case for my iMac, which is nice, that was free.
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. Thanks to Scott for telling me about it. Is I liked the way that we're going away from projectors. Just thinking from more of a district standpoint, I really think that flat screens are the way to go. And I saw one company where you take the flat screen and then you can put it down and you can make it almost into an interactive table, but then you can flip it up and then project your things. I mean, so as a person that's trying to roll out technology for our district, I kind of look at the learning space as part of it. Mm-hmm. And man, I mean, we were opening a new high school in Beaverton. I really wish we would get like projectors that are on a cart in the middle of the room that can move around. I really think that that's the next step is, why don't we just have, like, my TV is right over there. You can see it in the mirror. Like, I could project this image right now to what I'm doing on my computer to my TV with a $25 Chromecast, just 25 because I got it on Black Friday sale. But I don't know. I just think that that would be a lot easier. It'd save a lot of space in the classroom. I don't know. And some of them were on wheels, and you could just move them around, and then you could move it into a table, and more than one person could touch it at the same time.
So like flexibility sounds.
Yeah. I just not having the projectors on the carts in the room with the cords the kids trip over, and that's all you can do, and it really limits your classroom seating ability. So I saw some of that stuff, and I saw a handsome guy talking about Skype. And I thought that was good too, and his all of his Skype-ness, I want to say. His name was Scott Bedley, so that was good.
I'll tell you what, I really do love. No, I really do love Skype as a tool, especially the more I use Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts, we have to say, Google Hangout. It took us like 20 minutes for Scott to get on the Google Hangout, and we were just talking.
Well, they're
about
angry at me.
Yeah, and it's funny because we were, talking about revisiting old tools. Google Hangouts was a really cool tool 2.5 years ago when it came out. And I think, I mean, the Hangout on Air, it's great. I love it for the podcast and things like that. But holy cow, it has not been updated in 2.5 years. What
John,
are you guys working on?
Listen to this little insider tip. Skype is working on a tool to record in Skype that is going to be something that you can actually archive. So it's coming out soon. So if Google doesn't like step up its game, Skype already I think is better with its audio. It's better with its video. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of those other two pieces that allows Google Hangouts to have a kind of an advantage as far as for what we're trying to do as far as broadcast live and things like that. But it has been frustrating. I was actually on the flight with Jamie Cassip of Google on the way home. I heard
that. Did you hear about his little thing right after the keynote? Did you hear about this?
No. What is it? Tell me. This is good.
This is good. I heard this a little bit. So I heard there was kind of an email that it might have been a Twitter message that got out a little bit, and now I'll out it. I don't care. I mean, I don't think he really cares. But it's from Jamie Cassip, and what he said was right after the keynote was over, they're not Stumpin' Horse isn't even probably off the stage, and they're like, okay, next year I'll give the keynote for free, and blah 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 blah, and da 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 da. And I'm like, whoa! I'm like, that's pretty bold talk right there. They're already so it's like Stumpin' Horse hasn't even gotten off the stage. And now they're already everybody's clawing at the next keynote. And I think that Jamie Cassip was one of the first ones. I think he didn't mean for that to get out, but it did.
Oh.
It's just and I'm just see, that's just so wrong to me,
See, and I saw him on the plane back to Phoenix, and
I know he was nice to you, right?
Super nice. He gave me a Google Cardboard, and I gave him a Global School Playday T-shirt, and we danced down the aisle together. It was fantastic.
Oh my gosh, your little edgy crush.
Jamie Cassip. Not at all.
But so so it's interesting. Well, it's funny. Not that I have any. I don't. I've seen Jamie Cassip speak a few times. He's nice, but that was one of the things. Remember, we were talking about the Google Summit or whatever. That was one of the people I saw, and I'm like, oh, is it going to be Jamie Cassip again with the speech? I'm like, I just get tired sometimes of hearing the same speeches. Right. The same drum over and over and over. It's like that a bunch of times in a row. Oh, there's another keynote. He's saying the same thing. So, and I don't know.
Take risks, John. Take risks and try new things.
That's right. I mean, so it just.
Can I get a keynote? Is that possible?
I don't know. I know it's funny because John Spencer was talking about keynotes, and he was saying, well, I know there are some people that are anti-keynote and anti-this, and I said, yes. I said, I'm in the back seat. I'm one of them. I'm like, I don't
You're
really
driving the bus.
Yeah.
You're driving the bus on that.
Yeah. So anyway, but it'll be interesting. What did you think of your Google Cardboard?
I don't know. It's really I don't know, it's a little gimmicky at this point until it does something. Right now, to me, it's a digital ViewMaster. That's what it is, and it's limited. But people, when people get a chance to see it, they're pretty stoked on it. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, okay, how does this actually enhance learning with kids? Mm-hmm. So, not to knock it or anything like that. It's just it hasn't that initial engagement of the augmented reality kind of world. Mm-hmm. But it's really just a digital ViewMaster where you click to the next slide and then you can actually look around three-dimensionally, but that it's limited on where it goes. So we'll see what people come out with for it.
Well, I mean, I told you about the one I showed you. There's the augmented reality website, which I won't name, but I just saw it, and then I was pointing out all the. There's just so many, you talk about Pitch Fest. This one's just Editor Fest. I mean, if you have a website that's out there that's trying to be your front-facing business, maybe proofread your copy before you put it onto there and spell words correctly.
It was excellent.
It was excellent. Do an excellent job of spelling. But and it was the augmented reality thing, and it was so they had like some things for digital worksheets, and the kids are all in there like this is the next reality, and it's just kids going like this the whole time. And if you can't see me, I'm just holding up and like spinning my iPad Mini, and I'm like, that's the future. It's like kids sitting at a table going like this, trying to like see the augmented reality thing. And then the bad part was they said you could try it out with the app, and I was actually even going to try it out, but they had no link to the app, and then they didn't even have the app's name. So I'm like, okay, you guys, I wanted, it's almost like I want to call them and say, hey, for $1,000, I'll fix your website and get all the stuff at least running so you could have traffic. Like, because here is an app download, waiting to happen. But right, and it's like a digital worksheet. And then I think their thing was they promised a lesson a month. And I'm like, okay, well, an augmented reality lesson a month, huh?
Speaking of $1,000,
Father Tim.
He will be your personal trainer and food. Like he'll take care of all your food. He'll take care of you. You'll drop 40+ pounds. You'll put on extreme muscle mass for just $1,000.
You know what though? I know what the diet would consist of. Insects and protein and kale.
And you'll have to go barefoot. I'm just saying.
That's right, because barefoot's better for his posture. Anyway, well, so I mean, I'm not trying to rip on. I mean, I just, it's like if you're going to put some stuff out there, if you're going to put a website out there, spell things correctly. Put the name of your app on there. It breaks my heart, kind of. And here, they could have a great idea. I don't know, but I wanted to try it, and I couldn't even try it. And I'm like, this kind of sums up augmented reality to me. A bunch of kids looking around like this, like trying to look at stuff, and they colored a picture once, and now they can color it a different way, and the colors will come up. And I'm like, really? That's augmented reality? That's going to change learning? That's engagement?
Hey, John, it's a game changer. Come on.
At some point, maybe it can be a game changer, but right now, I just don't think it's there at all. No. I mean, engaging kids isn't the only thing.
No.
Engage them for what? So they can color a coloring book and then look at it, and it'll spring to life?
The butterfly moves, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, the butterfly moves. I don't know. Anyway, not to be really not trying to be. I actually am not trying to be
grumpy old teachers. Come on, this is grumpy.
I know. I've really been trying to be nice to people, but I don't know. I mean, if it would be like if your kids put on a website like that, you would have them proofread it. I mean, right? I mean that you would have them proofread and say, "Oh, you need to fix that." That's kind of how I felt when I was reading these poor people's websites. So we'll see if they get it straight. Maybe they'll get it straight. I'll check back in 6 months and see what they're doing. Maybe they're there. Maybe they're not, because nobody knows where to download their app. So anyway, what else is coming up for you for the rest of the summer?
John, my summer ends Friday. Are you kidding? I'm back at it, buddy. I am back at it, year-round school. We're in full swing starting next week. Actually, this Friday we go back for in-service, and then next week we got kids, and we're back at it. We got new carpet, I'll tell you that. It was really cool.
New carpet. You always get new carpet, no matter if you're year-round. So, all right. So, when's your next break if it's year-round school? Okay, so you're starting back July 17th?
Yes, John.
Okay, that sounds horrible. And then what happened? When's your next break?
Okay, so we get
September?
3 weeks. Yeah, we get 3 weeks in September, October, which is fantastic.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Will you rub that in our face then when we're back in school? Okay.
I will absolutely rub it in your face, because everyone's like, "How could you?" And then I'm like, "Well, you're starting back to school, and I'm going on vacation. It's beautiful weather. Everything's cheaper. It's."
You can get some really good vacation. I used to do that track in Las Vegas when I worked in Clark County, and I did the track where we did it a little bit differently than your year round, but we'd go for 3 weeks, and we'd start school for 3 weeks, and then we'd get 3 weeks off, and so you can really get cheap vacations then. That's when Marnie and I went to Maui for our honeymoon. Yeah, no, it's a really good time of year too, as far as weather, and it's not crowded anywhere. And yes, Craig Yen, I am back at it. Can you believe it? So if anybody wants to, help me out, you can come in and teach a lesson for a day or two. Just let me know. Oh, I'd come in. I'm just not around there.
Well, we'll Skype you in.
Okay, sounds good. I'll Skype in with them. I won't be as good as Hey, so we did talk about. Let's finish up with this.
Yeah.
Roses Fresh Pizza.
Oh man, it was
Slice of
fantastic.
Italy. I never got to go there, so tell me about it a little bit.
Oh, John, it was great. I went there for the first time with Carl, and we saw like Tracy, and we saw Sarah, and we saw. Let's see, who else was there? Oh my gosh, Greg Gardner was there. It was fantastic, and we had set a goal for 1,500 slices, which we thought, wow, that's okay, that's 10%. We, talking to Mason, the owner of the place, we got over 1,600 slices donated, and I shouldn't say we. Everybody that went there donated 1,600 slices of pizza that will go to homeless people in the the downtown Philly area, which is fantastic. The pizza was fantastic. It was just, I don't know, when you walked in there, you just felt like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. This is great. And then to be in there with all those people coming in and seeing other people from ISTE walking in there and getting this, and also hearing stories, John, this was the best. Hearing stories from other teachers that are like, I'm going to do this at the next conference I go to. It doesn't have to be Philly. It could be wherever I'm at. I'm going to find something that I can contribute to the community around. And that's really ultimately what that Slice of ISTE was about, is, how can we contribute to the communities we go and travel to, and we can. And then it's really simple. It could be $1 or $10 or $20, but we can make a difference, even a little bit at a time. So
That's good. Well, I wish I'd gone there. It just never really materialized for me. I must have been having too many Philly cheesesteaks, so that's good. Well, I'm glad that they did. I'm glad you guys all worked together to get that done. That was nice. And we'll see what we can do for Denver.
Yeah, we do need to start looking at Denver and then how we can really impact that community there.
Right now, what they need is they need a designated driver for point guard Ty Lawson, which I always said that about when I was.
I'm gonna start looking at concerts in Denver at this point.
I hope there's some in Red Rocks. I know the concert we talked about. We never even thought about going to once we got there. The funny thing is,
we did go to Edutopia's party, which was fantastic. It was like
Edutopia's party.
Honestly, John, that was like the who's who of Edu famous. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was like you turn left and there's, Tanya Avrith. You turn right and there's Nick Provenzano. You turn left, it was like constant, right?
And then you turn right and there's Holly Clark.
And there's Jose Wilson.
Left, and then there's Jose Wilson. And then there's Kyle Pace. And there's Ken Shelton. And then there's Scott Bentley. And there's Victoria Olsen. There's Carl Lingenstreicher.
It was ridiculous. When John Samuelson was there, oh my gosh, dude. It was like Alana Leone did the best party that you could imagine. She knocked it out, and I know it wasn't just her; it was like her team. But Edutopia and Alana just knocked it out of the freaking ballpark. It was fantastic, and I gotta admit, John, I was the only dude dressed in the '80s there. I loved it.
That was good.
I love my cord OP shorts. I mean, I still wear those. I'm still wearing those. So. Yeah.
How did you? What were the shoes that you wore?
Oh, those were awful. They were like kung fu shoes that had like cloth soles, and it was like pouring down rain. I was soaking wet the whole night. How far did we walk that night following Carl and Victoria through the streets of Philadelphia, trying to meet up with them to get some food? Man, that was crazy.
That's when you know you're an old man, when you go, I'm wearing these cloth karate shoes, and all I could hear Scott saying is, I cannot wait to take these things off. And then he threw them in the garbage and never wore them ever again, and then was like complaining about his back and his feet the whole time.
Thank you, Google Maps and Apple Maps and whatever, for your wonderful directions to get us to this restaurant. How many times did we circle that place? It never showed up.
We kept going around and around.
It was
what? All I gotta say is, if Father Tim had worn those, he wouldn't have had any problems whatsoever.
If he wore shoes, he wouldn't have a problem. He doesn't wear shoes anymore.
Yeah, no, he's I forget he's off shoes. Oh, well, that was a fun time at ISTE. So, well, can I take a moment, and as long as I got busted out for humble bragging before I'm going to humble brag real quick and just say this.
John, wait, really,
Nobody's
before you say that, I gotta say it was fantastic hanging out with you. It was the highlight for me of all of it, just to hang out with my friend John Samuelson. It was. You're laughing, but it was. It was awesome. I loved it, and I always love getting together and hanging out with you because you draw people to you. It's like you're like a magnet, dude, and it's just awesome to watch you interact with people and just it was fantastic. So it was great to hang out with you at ISTE. If people are listening and they didn't get a chance to spend time with the John Samuelson, next time at wherever you're at, like go to that guy and just hang out and spend some time with him because he's amazing.
I'll hang out with you. I don't have any friends.
Whatever. So not true.
No, it was good. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And so here I do want to say this though, Scott, since we're kind of at the end, and I might. All right, so here, wait, I might edit here and then start this at the beginning. But I do want to say that Techlandia, I'm going to go through a little bit of a change with it right now, and I've kind of come to the realization that there's a lot of time that's involved and a lot of money that's actually involved now that we've been running kind of semi-successfully for 2.5 years, and Podomatic has been kind enough to not reward us for doing a good job, but actually, like, what would we call that, where it's like a disincentive to keep doing a good podcast, because the more listens we get and the more storage we use, the more they're going to charge us. So I'm going to try and slowly make the move over to SoundCloud. And so if you are a subscriber, and there's over 70 subscribers on Podomatic.
Over
Craig,
80, John.
Yeah. Craig, if you can get the word out a little bit, Craig's one of them. We're going to move over to SoundCloud, and I've started to change the theme music because nobody knew what the Portlandia theme music meant anyway. And if I've uploaded that to SoundCloud, they'll put a copyright slam on it, even though I have the paperwork. So we're going to change the theme. I've changed the logo, and we're not going to even call this Grumpy Old Teachers anymore. We're just going to call everything Techlandia, and you'll know it's Grumpy Old Teachers if we say it is, because I'll do this with Scott. But Booklandia, Devlandia, all those ones I do, we're just going to call them all Techlandia now, and we'll just distinguish in the description, and we'll just keep putting out shows. But I do want to say that we are going to join the Education Podcast Network of Christopher Nessie, and it's you can go to edupodcastnetwork.com, and we're going to be in there with, and here, let me look real quick, Brad Gustafson, Angela Myers, Jeff Herb, Jeff Bradbury, Jason Bodnar, Spike Cook and Jessica Johnson, Teresa Stager, and that's about it. So,
and the Bedley. Whoa, sorry, no.
Bedley Brothers are not. Bedley Brothers don't need it because the Bedley Brothers are like.
We weren't asked. That's why.
I can get you in if you want. You guys are the GDIs of the fraternity right now. That's what I was when I was in the fraternity. I was a GDI. So just remember that that's one of the places you can find us, is that one. And I think we're starting up with that one. I think we were supposed to start July 1st, so I'll make an official announcement or whatever. But we're gonna change Techlandia around a little bit and just call every show Techlandia. And some days I'll be with Scott. Most of the time, probably for the new shows, I'll be with Scott. But I'm gonna be with whoever I feel like hanging out with. So if you want to come on and interview some people with us on Techlandia, you let me know, because I'll take open calls. Carl Lindgren Striker, definitely a keeper. There's a bunch of keepers that we have, but I think that other people just run into too much. There's not enough time. And
Jake Duncan will be with you.
Jake Duncan will be with me on Devlandia, and Jake Duncan and I will. But I think what we're doing is we're making too many shows, so we're just gonna call everything Techlandia. Maybe I'll just be with Jake Duncan, and we'll do a grumpy middle-aged teacher for Jake Duncan or something. And then you know what, Scott? And then I'll be out of character, and I'll be actually really happy all the time. I'm like, really, Jake? Does that bother you? Because I think everything's great, and you know what? Today is going to be better than yesterday. I'll talk in edgy tweet quotes. So anyway,
congratulations, John. I think it's a good move, and I hope we follow you over to SoundCloud, because it is disappointing that Podomatic continues to let people down that are trying to get, their message out and share things. And it's SoundCloud is kind of where it's at.
Well, the thing is, right, I don't have a ton of money, and so if I committed to this year, I was going to be in $300, and then next year
Wow.
I would definitely have to pay $500 per year, and that's just too much money for me. And if I go to SoundCloud, I can pay $135 and upload as much as I want, and that's my only cost. I don't mind doing it. I love podcasting, but at the same time, I can't be paying $500 a year. That's like a car payment.
My gosh.
So, yeah, and then I think all of our stuff will still live on Podomatic, but they'll just crank us down to the, they'll put a little thing on there that says this user needs to like upgrade their, account or whatever. And I don't know. You'll have to survive with that message, or you can just come over to SoundCloud with us, and we'll still be on iTunes like normal anyway. So,
yeah, come to SoundCloud.
Yeah, come to SoundCloud.
Are you on Stitcher too?
We are on Stitcher as well.
Yeah, so
yeah,
there's a lot of places people can listen to some great stuff from you and whoever you have on.
Yep. What are the Bedley Brothers on? Are they on Stitcher as well?
We're on Stitcher and iTunes and Podomatic for right now, but SoundCloud is continuing to look better because you're right. The cost, it's cost prohibitive to continue to stay in a service that doesn't support the actual people that are putting stuff on there.
Right. Right. It just doesn't feel like that should be the thing. Like, here we are. I haven't really even promoted. I haven't tweeted about a Techlandia, I don't think, all this month.
I tweeted about tonight, John.
Okay, well that's right. That's how Craig's watching. But like the number, we're still like the number 2 podcast, even without me tweeting about it or whatever. So we have some sustainability in education, and right, for them to, and I've brought a few people over to Podomatic, and it just seems like, I don't know. I that was 2.5 years ago. That was what I knew. That was what I looked for. And now I'm just kind of like, okay, I can't just keep going in and paying more and more. I'm sorry. And to their credit, they're making Podomatic look like a much nicer site. I just think it's probably too late. It's been behind the times for a while. They're finally updating. But I don't know. It's not going to be soon enough for me. And yeah, I don't know. $500 for next year. That's just insane.
And when our sponsors, like, the Squatty Potty, and, they don't pay what they used to because, they are the Squatty Potty.
Right. When we say we have sponsors, we're really totally kidding. We don't have any sponsors. We just do
the Flowbee is stepping up. They're going to give $2 a month, John.
They're going to GoFundMe. Oh, man. So anyway. I don't know, Scott. We're almost at time where it's like we either have to break it off or we just have to break this into 2 segments. John?
I'm going to get sad.
I don't know. My son's kind of looking at me. My son that just got his tonsils out. He's like fake snoring over there. He's like, come on, Dad. Come on. Guess it's time to go. But I did have a great time with you at ISTE, so thanks for that. And thanks. I would not have gone. You were responsible for 4 people going to ISTE, Scott Bedley, that you didn't even know that you were doing that when you asked me to come to ISTE. And you got one old kid had a great time there. He really did.
He's a great guy. Matt is an awesome guy.
He is a great guy, and he thanked me afterwards because he said, like, there was a couple times when he wasn't going to do what he like something, and I said, just go talk to them. Yeah. And he's like, you know what? You took me out of my comfort zone, and I talked to them, and you were right. And I'm like, well, that's the one time I'm right this year. But there's one thing I do know. I mean, I've been doing these ISTEs I've gone through all the stages. You go through the stage of, I don't know what's going on, to the next year, I'm going to go to everything and try and drink everything in, to the next step of kind of like, oh, I kind of get this now. Maybe I can skip a couple sessions here or there, to I'm going to go and network, and then you find your own way eventually. So it does take a while to get through all those little stages. I went through all those stages. If I can help anybody not go through them or get through them quicker so that they get to more powerful learning for themselves, that's what it's all about. It's all about whatever. You can say whatever you want about ISTE. There's a lot of haters on ISTE. I've been vocal opponent of them for a while on like calling them boat shows and things like that. But it was very enjoyable, and I will go next year because I don't know. I just want to see some people, and I don't think I'm going to go to a lot of conferences this year, Scott. To tell you the gosh honest truth, I stepped off the plane on Friday from Arizona, and I thought I do not want to step back in this airport again until 2016. And I think
Till
I'm going
March
to stick to it.
2016, Q in Palm
Yeah,
Springs.
no, right. And I don't even know what to do at this point. Like I'm just kind of like that. Just kind of starts down the road then. So I think
John, let me talk to you about Q.
I know. Well, the funny thing is, at the Edutopia party, they were trying to talk me into fall Q.
What? Excuse you?
Gesundheit.
Fall
yes.
Q?
Fall Q in Napa.
Is it in Napa?
Yeah, it's in Napa.
Yeah,
So,
that would be a horrible place to have to go to for a conference.
well, and then our good friend David Terrio is the keynote, right?
He is
But
keynoting up there.
Is he
I think
the
he's the
main
closing keynote too.
If there's anybody that can close out a conference, it's David Terrio. Rhymes with stereo. So yeah, it'll be fun stuff. And yeah, as much as I would like to go, I would love to go to everything, but I just don't see it happening right now. If I do anything, I'm going to drive down to California. We're going to visit with Scott Bedley. That's what we're going to do. That's
we'll
the
go
only
to
thing.
Disneyland and Legoland and like really make it happen.
That's right. I might call it Ed Camp Bedley. I'll meet Scott and Tim Bedley, and Tim will put me through, give me a kale smoothie to refresh me for the learning that's going to happen, and then Scott Bedley can teach me everything that is going on in his classroom.
John, so at Fall Q, you got Delane Easton, who was the Secretary of Education in California for a long time. She's the opening keynote.
Okay.
Now, and then you have Terrio closing it out on Saturday.
Wow.
So that's a big deal.
Good for David.
Yeah, good for him.
He deserves it. He's a good guy. He's
Definitely.
one of the good ones.
He is for sure.
That's right. David, don't let it go to your head. All
He
right?
won't.
No,
He's got
we
too
don't.
many people like Z Barth and Chris Long that'll knock him down.
I know.
And Greg Smith. Do you know Greg Smith on the Twitters?
I know Greg Smith. I've never met him
Greg
face to
Smith's
face.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good California people.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, thanks for forcing me to do a Grumpies, Scott. We've been wanting to do one for a while, and I just fell asleep the other night, and it's been horrible.
Yeah. Thank you for staying up tonight.
Yeah, I had to stay up till 9:45. I think I can handle that. So, but yeah, we'll keep going, and I don't know. Look for more Techlandia episodes. Right now, Techlandia is. I mean, I don't know if this breaks your contract with Father Tim, but right now we're the only thing that's keeping Techlandia going. Scott, it's us.
Who? You mean me too?
Yeah. You and me.
John. Techlandia is the heart of Techlandia is you, and I think people love you, and I certainly love listening to you. So I'm excited to see what comes of Techlandia as you shift over to SoundCloud, and maybe you'll find Craig Yen as a co-host with you soon.
I would love Craig Yen. Craig, if you're still watching, and it looks like you are actually, I can't believe you hung in this long. But Craig Yen, if you'd like to come on, let's do a Techlandia real quick, and we'll see what we can do. Scott, are we up for interviewing some people sometime too?
I'm still honestly, John, I'm still hoping with all my hope that Allison and Kurt somehow come back for like a reunion tour. No, that's not possible.
No, I don't think Allison will. Kurt's definitely in, but Allison won't.
Everyone tweet at Allison to go back for at least one show.
She might go back for one show. She might come back for one show, but then I don't know what we would do then. Only if we could interview Arnie Duncan.
The special Arnie Duncan episode. It's like the marriage episode of whatever sitcoms out there. Everybody comes back for it.
That's right. It'd be like I think if we did one more, there'd be so much pressure. We'd be like in our minds, we'd be like, it's the last Seinfeld. Be bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, we'll see what's going on. Craig should come on here at some point. Yeah. We had him on Tech Educator podcast before, and that was fun to have Craig on there because I could get all of his jokes because he watches all the shows.
I wonder if Craig at Merrick right now. Merrick's that deal up in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is
Oh, I don't
really
know.
fantastic for training teachers on technology integration in the classroom. So I know he was there last year. Craig, if you haven't heard of Merrick, you should check it out. Anyone that's out there, and
Okay.
this has become California centric. We need to get off this, right, John?
I don't think so. I like well, we brought Tracy Clark in from Texas, and she said she loved the California people just like I do.
Well, Tracy Clark's awesome.
She said they keep everybody humble, and it's just like that's different than Texas for some reason. Not knocking the Texas people, but Texas people, you are a little bit about like me, and the California people are more like we. So, and I'm not talking about their French. So
Bonjour.
anyway, yeah, there's a little of that goes on in the Texas. That's because Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, so the egos, things like that. Anyway, I'm not talking about anybody in particular.
John, edit here.
Yeah, that's okay. They're not listening anyway. So yeah, and Craig again says he's in. So
All right.
Craig will just DM me something and we'll see what we can do. But I really think the next show, Scott, if you're not offended, I think that we should bring on Shinkton.
Dude, are you kidding? I would never be offended by bringing in Oliver.
Okay,
Serious?
that's what I was hoping you'd say. We have to start earlier for him.
Oliver should have his own Techlandia episode podcast.
He might, but I think that we should. I think the three of us should just come on, and I think we need he'll be our second grumpy guest.
No, Oliver's amazing. I love that guy.
We had a show with Mr. Technology.
By the way, Mr. McNalgy is still up at this time of night. This is when he actually does his work.
I know, because he has so many kids. Yes,
he's voxing in one of the groups. He just, his latest vox was. Oh, actually, that was an hour ago. But
okay. Yeah, we're a little bit late. That's okay. We'll break it into two. I'll chop it up. I've got time over the summer now. Hiya.
I hope you put some commentary in there too, because John, that's probably.
Okay.
More than anything that I've heard out there is I loved when John put in the commentary that he was editing out 3 minutes of basketball chat.
It was true, and I did.
You did. That was funny.
Yeah, you totally knew what would set me off too, you jerk.
The Bulls? All right, let's talk about the Bulls, John.
We're talking about practice. Speaking of that, I'm almost done with my second book of the summer, and it's the Allen Iverson, kind of unofficial biography where they're talking to all the people except for Allen Iverson. But yeah, it doesn't really paint a flattering picture of poor Allen. Go figure.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading Move Your Bus by Ron Clark.
The dead bugs off the window.
Move your butt. I know. Are you almost done with it?
Move Your Bus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm close.
Are you?
Yeah, it's nothing earth-shattering.
Okay.
It's interesting, but not earth-shattering.
Okay. Well, I know. I was going to read it based on your recommendation, but you
At
better
this point in the book, I would say, don't read it.
Okay. You should move your bus and get done with that book. All right. Well, join us again for Book Hour, where we have more. My book is called Not a Game: The Allen Iverson Story, and I'm almost done. And I've read the whole thing on my iPhone 6 Plus or whatever they're called. The new iPhone is going to come out. They're going to make the announcement. It's 70 days away. Scott, you're going to get the new iPhone?
Yeah, I've been waiting. I've got an iPhone 3, and I've been holding out till the iPhone 7.
The iPhone 3. That's from 2007.
What is it?
Yeah, I think I saw that. I saw that on Tony Vincent's slideshow the other day. Does it seem like that long ago? It doesn't seem like that long ago. I mean, that seems like a while ago.
Really that long ago? 2007? Yeah, that is. That's 8 years ago, John.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It was. So what's the deal with the iPhone 7? Well, I mean, come on, give us a scoop really fast.
No, so I don't know any scoop, but I do know that I tweeted out an article the other day where they were talking about iPhone needs to dump the 16 gigabyte phones. They're just too small, and everything else is 32 now.
No, it should be starting at 64.
Yeah, I mean mine's a 64 and it's the second biggest model.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It should be the 6. This is like their little intermediate one, so it should be the 6S or the 6 Plus or whatever they're going to call it. I mean, I know they have the iPhone Plus, but maybe they'll have the iPhone
Plus
6S Plus, right? Yeah, which just means to me that always signals just wait another year and get the 7. But you know, wait for the new number. But I never usually get the intermediate ones. But Marnie has one of those. Marnie has the 5S. I think that's gold. So
Right.
I don't know.
Does she like it?
She does like it. Right now, it won't take pictures on her camera, so I don't know what's wrong with that. No matter what we've done to fix it, it won't work. So I might have to take it in.
John, this just in.
Uh-oh. Father Tim.
He's asking for another show because, well, he doesn't want to have to listen to any of their books on tape. He uses a cassette player and like a Sony cassette player. And while he's working out, and so now he's really excited that there's actually going to be a couple. Sorry, Tim. I love you, buddy.
That's what the iPhone 6S is. Actually, it's going to be just for Tim. It's going to be the size of a cassette. And you can just play cassette tapes.
He would like an 8-track tape player if possible, please, John.
So you can play Foghat. Slow ride, take it easy. I can see Tim working out to that. Slow ride, take it easy.
Did you ever have an 8-track tape player in any of your cars when you were a kid?
No.
We had one. We had a big van, a big blue van. We had an 8-track tape player, and I remember we listened to the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
Yes.
And it was like in constant play in our van, and to hear the Bee Gees over and over and over growing up just messes up your mind completely, John.
I think everybody listened to the Saturday Night, that's our age, listened to the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack over and over again. The one that I can remember, and I was just actually playing stuff today because I was doing so much work listening. I made like a 70s playlist of just songs that I remember that my dad used to wear out as we lived in. We had a summer home in Wisconsin, and one of my favorite albums of that is, I'll give it up to him for doing it, is Earth, Wind and Fire. I Am. He used to wear that one out, and then the other one was like the Billy Joel album. Let me see, and it wasn't Glass Houses, but I think it was the one right before that. With like here, let me see real quick. It has like The Stranger.
Gotcha.
So you used to always listen to that one, like the scenes from an ago. Bottle of white. Whatever mood you're in tonight, I'll meet you anytime you want in our Italian restaurant. You ever heard that one? Have you not heard that song before?
I love your singing, John.
My singing's horrible.
We were stuck with Cool in the Gang. A lot of Cool in the Gang after we got done with Saturday Night Fever.
We did Earth, Wind and Fire and Saturday Night Fever, though we did for sure. Yeah. 8
tracks are coming back.
Here we go. Things are okay with me these days. Got a good job. Got a good office. Got a new wife. Oh, got a new life. Got a new wife, and the family is fine. Oh. Lost touch long ago. Lost faith. We did not know how you could ever look so nice after so much time. You ever heard that song?
No.
You want to keep singing it?
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, I was listening to that song today, and I was like, oh gosh, that just reminds me of sitting in my dad's car, like listening to the tape player. I think we had a regular tape player, though. So
John, I've been listening to a lot of Expendables lately.
What's the Expendables?
It's kind of like reggae style of music.
Is that what you were playing before?
That's what I was playing before, yeah.
It sounded a little 311-ish, to tell you the truth. And 311 just came out with their big, like, I just bought the 311, like, archive album of, like, I don't know, it's like all deep cuts or whatever. It was like $40 for the album.
Really?
It was like 6 albums put together or something. I have to support 311. They're our age, Scott. We've got to support 311. They're still chugging along at our age. Can you imagine us giving a concert? Oh my god. I'd have a heart
as long as they had like rest breaks about every 15 minutes.
They don't, I don't think.
What's up with the Fitbit, dude? I'm not any healthy. I'm like worse shape than I was before.
I just don't. I mean, I think it's just a slow, you know, to
A slow progression to death. Is that what you're saying, John?
yeah, it's like a slow. Um, the Fitbits for me, like I said, I want to get my gym membership going here, but I'm gonna take my Fitbit off while I exercise and just log my exercise and still try and get my 10,000 steps. And I think that would do stuff. And not eating a bunch of red velvet cupcakes would also help.
Five Guys.
Yeah, not eating at Five Guys. I haven't had Five Guys this month, so let's give me a little slow clap for that. No Five Guys. Of course,
Really?
I went to Zin Burger in Tucson like 3 times and had like 2 plates of green chili cheese fries and oh my gosh,
With a fried egg on top.
oh my gosh, the zucchini fries are so good. I did have a burger with a fried egg on top. That's correct.
Those are so
You're
good.
correct. They're good.
Now, with the zucchini fries, do they give you ranch to dip it in?
Yes, like a Parmesan ranch.
Oh god, that's great.
Oh my god, it's so good. And then we went there for happy hour, so they're half price. So what did I do? What do I do instead of
You
ordering
ordered
like
twice as much.
I did. I ordered 2 things of chili cheese fries and 1 zucchini fry. Oh man, and I just ate those, and then I looked at and my burger was the Bruce Lee that I ordered.
What?
So all right, so the Bruce Lee was a half pound of Kobe, I think Kobe beef.
Half a pound of Kobe beef.
It might have been a quarter pound.
A pound.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It must have been a quarter pound. So a quarter pound of Kobe beef. It was like cabbage, and then it was like Korean barbecue sauce, and that's what it was. So it's like Korean coleslaw, Korean style barbecue sauce on my Kobe beef burger.
Sounds good.
With like a sriracha mayo.
Have you seen the video on YouTube with the kid who does like the full Enter the Dragon thing with the nunchucks, and like he does it exactly, and they got the Bruce Lee video playing from Enter the Dragon in the background, and he's in front of it. He's just like busting it out.
No.
Oh, you gotta check that out.
Okay,
I'll send you a link or something like that. It's amazing. This kid has every single step of Enter the Dragon down with Bruce Lee, and he's like doing it simultaneously. Not even it's behind him. He doesn't even see it. He's like, it's fantastic. Great YouTube video.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds good. All I got to say is I look over my notifications and I've got 20. Craig Yen did his job tonight.
We love you, Craig Yen.
We will break this in there. Craig Yen, I'm serious though. Tweet at me at some time when it's convenient, and we'll figure out a time, and maybe we'll have Craig Yen on with Carl Lingenstreicher or myself or something. Or Craig, you can come on Grumpy's if you want. We'll be happy to have you too. We like to think of this more as our Scott Bedley and iPad Sammy riff time a little bit, but we don't mind. We've had McNology on before, so.
John, search kid imitates Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
It's got like 43 views, so it's not like it's some viral video.
Oh, okay. So it's kid imitates Bruce Lee?
Kid imitate Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon. It is awesome.
You know this person?
No. I have no idea. But I've seen it. I think JRGO tweeted it out or Facebooked it. You know what? Facebook is awful.
All right, let's talk about that for real quick because we have time now since I'm splitting this into 2 shows. So, Facebook, it's awful, isn't it?
It's horrifying.
Sometimes I sit
How
there.
many ads are on that thing, too? My gosh, I'd rather watch TV and watch like 6 hours of ads.
Okay, so I went to your video right now just talking about Facebook. I have this site called Ghostery, and it tells you all like the things that are like all the sites that are using your data on if you go to this website. And so it says watch 5-year-old perfectly reenact Bruce Lee Game of Death fight scene. And so I'm sure that's it, and it's on like the Channel 11 Pick site or something.
Okay.
But it has about 50 sites on it that are taking my data from me. Like they're going, "Ooh, let's log this. It's interesting." That's a good. You know what? That's a good extension to tell people about.
What is it called?
If you want one, it's called Ghostery. GHOSTERY.
Ghostery.
And what you can do with it then is you can see what the site does, and they'll actually tell you what kind of data that site's collecting from you, and you can actually block it if you want to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ghostery.
Ghostery. I got that at South by Southwest Interactive.
Cool.
They had a good
Ghostery.
booth. Ghostery is a good little extension. Anyway, so I just want to say, go to techlandiaradio.com. I'll try and be blogging this summer a little bit. I'm fixing up my listlies. I'm doing some stuff, and Scott's going to be teaching, and I'll be sitting in my home, relaxing, and maybe taking a nap here and there.
Yeah, I'll
But
be
don't call to
blogging
come
too.
back.
I'll be
Will you be
blogging too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna release at least one blog in the next 6 months.
Okay, that's good. And you know what? Let's do the what are we going to call that when we just blindly retweet each other's blog posts? What is that called?
I was gonna say something not appropriate.
Oh, no, I know what we would call it, but I mean, isn't that a site where you do that, where you just like it says, "Oh, this so and so blog, so retweet the blog post." What was those called? They're called like little teams. What was that website called?
I don't
You know
know.
what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea, John.
Oh, okay. There's a site where you can actually like be the leader.
Tatum Channing?
No, there's
Jonah
a
Hill?
it's not famous people. It's just
Oh,
it's
okay,
just
sorry.
so it's like if you wanted to like get in this little posse or whatever, and then somebody's the leader, and then you're supposed to tweet out like everybody's link that's in the thing. I forget what
Sounds
it's called.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think
We
that's already
might-
happening, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think that they just
On
did that on
Twitter?
their own now. Yeah, it's called Twitter. So anyway, but I thought that was an interesting. I forget what those are called. They're called like little posses or something. That's what I'm calling them. That's what I call us. We're gonna be the little
I
posse.
thought it was just like the name of like a 1980s punk band. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah. Well, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. But it's a
Travis
whole
might be
official-
able to determine what that is.
I know. We're sending Travis on a clue finding mission right now. It's funny because Travis is like, I've almost tracked this down. And I'm like, here, Travis, I'll just tell you. I'll make it easier for you. Don't waste your time.
Travis is awesome.
Travis is awesome. You know what else? You know who else I've been talking with a little bit is Tanya Avrith. I've been talking with Tanya Avrith. Do you remember seeing her at the Edutopia party?
I do remember seeing her. Yeah,
Okay.
and she was having fun and seemed like she was enjoying her time and stuff.
Did she have her and Holly Clark? Do they still do that EduSlam?
I'm not sure. I know they're really good friends, and I know she's doing a lot of things with. I want to say EdTech team. I could be totally wrong about that, but yeah, I'm not sure, John.
So I was talking to her a little bit, and so they're looking for you know how we talk about like ed tech companies. Sometimes we're like whatever, but Remind is one of the ones I really like, and I guess she's working for Remind a little bit.
Okay.
So she's I think she said she lives in Florida now, Tanya Avrith, because she used to be in Montreal, right?
Okay.
And so anyway, so she's doing some Remind stuff, and so I don't know where I'm going with this, but it was funny because we were trying to connect people in. She's looking for people in Texas that are Remind users. So I've been trying to give her some of my people since she knows I know Texas, but
Gotcha.
I guess Lisa Dabbs is like the California person for Remind.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Lisa Dabbs? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I don't know. It's just good. I always just was like, she's like, "Are you a Remind so and so?" And I'm like, "No, I just like Remind." I think it's a good. I think Brett's a cool guy. Brett, the founder.
I was just looking at EduSlam website, and they have a bunch of good stuff up there. They have a lot of really solid people that are sharing things, and it looks like though the last episode may have been not too recently.
Okay.
So
eduslam.me.
yes, .me.
Somehow that doesn't sound right, does it?
No. What? Huh? What do you mean, John?
I think that needs to be a .com or something. They need to change the .me. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, they haven't done one for a while, huh? They must have kicked it. They haven't done one for a year.
Yeah.
Hey, there's
They're busy.
Technical Todd. There's
Who?
LS_Carl. There's Tony Vincent. Why
Yeah,
did they ask? Why didn't they ask us, Scott? Did they ask us? Did they ask you
No,
to do an
I
edgy
don't.
slam?
Dude, do I have anything to say? Come on, John.
You have plenty to say. Gosh, yeah. Why didn't we do an edgy slam?
They
What did
have a
Carl-
lot of. They have a lot of good people on there. I mean, David Terrio, and you know, a lot of really good people on there. So.
Oh, there's David Terrio right there. If this, then that for photo blogging.
hmm
Oh, that's
Jen
interesting.
Roberts is fantastic, and we
Jen
went on
Roberts.
we went on the photo walk with her in
That's
at
right.
ISTE in Philadelphia. So
There's tons of people in that edgy slam. They just stopped, huh?
I guess it just stopped.
Tech Ninja Todd says why you need a math fair with Tech, but it's it's funny is it says why you need a math fair with Tech Ninja Todd. I can't get Tech Ninja Todd to come to my math fair, so then I can't do one then, right? This is like why you need a math fair with Tech Ninja Todd because he's the man. You know why? Because he dresses up like a clown, and he'll ask you jokes, and he'll tell you jokes, and he'll also do flashcards. 9 times 7. Oh, you didn't get 9 times 7? Ooh, and then he scares them. And then that's why kids are scared of clowns now. Tech Ninja Todd, you need to stop that. Stop being a mean clown at the math fairs.
Does Todd listen to this show?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, I didn't think so.
But you know what? I'll tag him in this one or whatever episode, and we'll see if he will listen to it. He's not against it.
He's too busy.
He's not against it. In fact, I remember when I took a young Tech Ninja Todd and a young Chris Kessler and showed them how to turn and burn a podcast, and look at them now.
Are they still making shows too?
I don't think they are. No, I think they might be. Let's
Okay.
check it. Let's see. Let's check other Let's check in on other This is a new segment of the show we're going to call "Checking In on Other Podcasts." All right, let's see.
I'm checking. What's their show again?
Edu All Stars.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay, let's
They
see.
probably are. I'm sure. I don't know why they would stop. They had so many. They were doing.
Well,
a ton
you know what's different about that one is I was, and unlike Edu Slam, I was actually on Edu All Stars.
Were you really?
May
Jim?
May 28th, 2015. Session
Okay, so
99.
they've been done for a couple months. Maybe they're
Yeah.
taking a summer break.
Well, did you know Chris Kessler is
He's a good guy. Chris Kessler's
he's a good guy.
Really
and
good
he's
guy.
I hate to say it to Todd, and so Todd's not listening, but if you listen to this now, Chris Kessler really is the brains behind the operation, let's be honest. And he's the thing that makes the show go round. But Chris quit teaching. He's going to try something different. So I wonder if that I wonder if that's oh look, there's Sarah the teacher.
Yeah, they've got everybody. They got Alice Keeler,
There's John Spencer.
John
There's Alice
Spencer.
Keeler.
I mean,
They're just taking they're taking all my people. Who else have you?
I mean,
who else have we? I wonder who has been on.
a lot of these people I've never heard of, which is
I
cool.
don't know.
They're
A
sharing
lot of the
different voices.
that's good actually. There's Colby Sharp,
Yeah.
Sam Patterson. Have you had Sam Patterson on the show?
No,
Bedley Brothers? No,
he hasn't come out in Bedley Brothers yet. Yeah.
he's got his own thing.
No,
Let's see,
we
I'm
would
looking.
love to have him on. We just are not just like ed tech people, so we have a lot of different people that come on the show that aren't just ed tech style people. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, look, he had Rushton Hurley. That's good. They had good people. I was just gonna say, I wonder who's been on Bedley Brothers, Techlandia, and Edu All Stars, and Edu Slam.
Yeah. Terrio.
Terrio.
No, I don't know if Terrio's been on Edgy All Stars actually.
Oh yeah, maybe he hasn't been on Edu All Stars. Gosh darn it! That's like you talk about the Grand Slam.
Yeah,
Is
that would be the Grand
is that the
Slam.
Grand Slam?
Well, and Tech Educator, something.
Yeah, I guess right. I guess Tech Educator would be other. I've been on that one. I've been on all those.
You are the Grand Slam, John.
Except for Edu Slam. Come on, Tanya. Tanya Avrith needs to put me on Edu Slam. I'm gonna tell her right now. I'm gonna hold out on people, giving you people for remind until you put me on Edu Slam. She's like, we're not doing it anymore. We haven't done it for a year, and I'm gonna be like, no, you will do it for me. Edu Slam. I'm be on it. Well, probably since Holly Clark moved up here too. I'm gonna have to hook up with Holly Clark since she's up here in the Portlandia now.
Is she?
Yeah. So you and her seem like you've got. Let's break it out here, Scott. You and her seem like you've got a little bit of a thing going. You were trying to grab a badge from her, and she wouldn't give you a badge. What was going on there?
No, I was not trying to grab any badges. She had some badge. Yeah, I love how you portray that.
Okay, it's a ribbon. I'm sorry, a ribbon for your badge.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're trying.
What did it say on the badge that she wouldn't give you? She gave one to me though.
It was like innovative or something like that.
Right. And you know what?
She's like, you're not innovative, Scott Bedley. Right. Sorry, you don't get one. But
right. Then
Carl is.
Right. Then she gave one to me too, and I'm like, I'm not innovative. Come on now. If there's anybody innovative here, it's my man Scott Bedley. No, don't front. Don't front. Don't fake the funk on the nasty dunk.
I'm just another dude.
I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me. Yeah, that was kind of funny. We'll see if I'll. You know what? Maybe we can get Holly Clark on here sometime.
Well, she's your neighbor now, right?
I know. I don't know where she lives in Portland. I got to find her. She said she's never here though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, summer is the busy time for consultants.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I don't know. I'm not a consultant.
I don't know.
No idea.
Who's going to this
Summer's
PD over the
busy time
summer?
for me. I'm starting to teach again.
I know, like who who's going to the PD in July? I'm like, July is my sacred month. That's the sacred animal right there, July.
So, John, when you were on Edgy All Stars, what did you talk about? I'm gonna watch that episode. I watched many episodes.
Did you ever watch that episode?
Episode 33. No, I'm gonna watch it after I get off here.
Okay, so I talked about what a failure I was. I talked about
You're not a failure.
No, I talked about how there seems to be a lot of people that like to portray themselves as like these great educators, and then I went on to tell the story of my first year of teaching and how I miserably failed and left my job. And
Did you talk about the BAMI Awards at some point too?
Maybe that was what got me started on it, was the BAMI Awards, and yeah, how people are fronting. So yeah, I don't feel like the need to front for an award. I just am who I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I talked about my first year of teaching and how horrible it was and how I couldn't do it anymore, and I quit in the middle and threw my stuff in my car and moved out to Vegas and slept on my friend's couch for a few months just to kind of reset. Sometimes you need to reset. Yeah. Just like almost like I did here. I mean, I almost did the same thing.
Are we still recording 43. A show, by the way?
No, I stopped the broadcast a long time ago. So anyway, now actually we've doubled our viewers now. We're at 4 viewers. So there we go.
Who are the 4 viewers, John? Have we brought in a big time crowd from Russia again?
Craig Yen's watching on his phone, his iPad, his Nexus 7.
Thank you, Craig.
Thanks, Craig. You're making us feel better. You try to make us feel special. But yeah, the Edgy All Stars was fun, actually. And then after I got off the broadcast, Todd and Kessler said that was the first time they'd ever been scared to have somebody on the show because they knew I was such a loose cannon and I knew them.
What?
That I'd be able to say anything. I said, "Oh no, I'm a sweetie."
They had Arnie Duncan on, didn't they?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
Loose cannon.
Well, the thing with the Arnie Duncan interview, when I talked to Todd about that afterwards, and because he told me early on, I just said, "Dude, why are you doing it in your?" They did it in like their superintendent's office, and their superintendent was like standing over the top of him. I said, "Why were you doing it in your superintendent's office?" I'm like, my superintendent wouldn't even know I had a podcast, and he's like, "Well, I told somebody," and I said, "See, that's where you made your mistake." I'm like, I would have just done it like a normal show and not had my they had to do it like during the day, and so they need to get out of school or something. He just gave me some lame-o excuse, and I'm like, I just wouldn't have bragged about it. I would have just done it like a normal podcast, you know?
Right.
I don't know. I would have asked him some real questions and not just his normal. Well, that's one of the criticisms. Like Diane Ravich's article about him just says that like whenever people try and get real with Arnie Duncan and actually have a discussion with him, he just has the set script in his mind, and he can't really ad lib or anything. He's just not quick on his feet like that because He doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, that's the sure sign of someone that doesn't know what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So, Arnie Duncan. But yeah, he was on Edge. I wonder what number he was. Was he before 33?
Yeah.
Gosh darn it, he made it on there before me. There's Angela Watson again.
So did Jeremy McDonald.
Yeah, Jeremy is. I know Kurt was way before me on Edu All Stars.
J-Mac was like episode number 5.
Yeah, J-Mac was Techlandia made J-Mac a legend for a while. I mean, he was on there all the time. We'd have J-Mac on all the time. J-Mac, if you ever want to come on again, let me know. Oh, look at this. Have you ever heard of this guy, Jerome Heath, 45?
Yeah.
Is he the guy that dresses like Super Mario Brothers?
Don't know, John.
I don't know. I haven't seen him. I think he blocked me.
Kurt Reese was episode 18, though.
Oh my gosh, Kurt Reese is.
What are we doing here? This is ridiculous. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about the Bentley Brothers episodes.
Okay, let's look at the Bentley Brothers episode. Here we go. Hold on, let's see the Bentley Brothers.
This is awful. This is fantastic podcasting. Can you edit all this out, honestly?
Yeah, no. We'll edit all this out. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. But I'm still gonna. There might be some parts of it that we want to keep on here. All right, so let's see. Bedley Brothers. Who would you say is the best person you interviewed on the Bedley Brothers?
Oh, just the cast of Techlandia.
That is such baloney right there.
That's a hard question.
You guys have a great picture of Ramsey Masalam. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim gets all those pictures somehow. There's a great picture of Bill Selleck, too.
I like the picture of Corippo as well.
Who's crazy. Jamie Ewing?
Yeah.
Jamie Ewing's great. He's he does a lot of things with coding. He was up in the Seattle area, and then I think he just moved back east. And I don't know what he's doing now, but he's fantastic. He's got a lot of good stuff to say. He's not edu-famous, so...
Yeah, he seems like he's just... Uh-oh, there it is.
What is it?
Two sisters.
That's probably the most famous people we've had on the show.
Oh, and you had Jennifer Holm, too. I like the 14th Goldfish.
She was great, and we had, Catherine Applegate, who's going to come back on, by the way, John. She's going to come back on with her new book that's coming out this fall. She's promised to come back on and talk about it, and so we'll see. I'm so lame. We have had Sam Patterson on the show.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Is that you're saying that because I'm about to come to it and I was going to bust you out for it? Is that why?
Probably.
There's Janine Letford. There's Oliver Shington.
Yeah.
You guys have had some good people on.
Yeah, we've Emer Braval was really great. She was on the show. Yeah, we've had some fantastic people.
You've had a double episode of Corippo, huh?
We've had Corippo on a couple times.
Alfie Kohn you've had on?
Yeah, have you heard of him?
Hey, wait, there's Sam Patterson. You have had him on the show. See, if I'd have gotten to it sooner, I could have busted you out.
We had Sharesky even came on.
Yeah, Sharesky would never come on Techlandia until we finally harassed him enough to come on there. That's funny. You look so serious. I can't help it. You look so serious on that page right there.
I don't even know what page it is.
The Potomatic page.
Like our Potomatic little bio picture.
Like what? Yeah. Did you guys get? Was that professionally done?
No, I think my nephew took that picture actually.
Oh really?
Yeah. No, we didn't. Professionally done. Yeah, John.
Oh,
we hired someone to come and do shots of us.
You had Walter Duncan on?
Uh-huh.
I love him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
You had Techlandia on? Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I think we could look at that and see. You've had Sharon Draper on a couple times too, huh?
We have. We want to have. We're supposed to have her back on sometime soon too.
She loves you guys.
She's fantastic. I mean, if you look at her bio, that woman is just an amazing, amazing person, and I'm always freaked out that she actually agrees to come on the show with us. So
I know that's funny. Oh,
We've got
You've had Jamie Ewing on twice.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff to say. We've had Alana Leone on twice. She's going to come on again soon.
Mike Lawrence, you've had on twice.
I think we've had Mike on 3 or 4 times actually.
Oh wow.
We've got so we've got 3 national Teachers of the Year coming on. One show coming up soon. We've got Rebecca Milwaukee, Jeff Charbonneau, and Sean McComb all coming on the show at one time to just talk about who knows what. So
when's the next time you guys are going to do a show?
We've got Jose Vilson coming on end of July.
End of July, okay.
And then we kind of kick back into things.
How is Rebecca Wildman?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just a really great person and a lot to say. She's been doing the ADE thing for a long time and really knows her stuff as far as iTunes U. So
that's it. I got into the end. So you started August 3rd, 2013. And there's a picture of you in like a lei or something.
That's August 3rd. No, we started like January.
Okay, well, so then Tim didn't upload it until August 3rd.
Yeah. Yes, that's probably true.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good little trip down memory lane. That none of this will ever see the airwaves, but it was kind of fun just to look through that. I might take out little snippets. There's still 3 people watching.
Thank you, 3 people that are watching.
How are you interested in this? I don't understand, but anyway, 3 people. You need to tweet us. You need to come on a special Techlandia at some point.
Yeah, we should have them on and tell why they are still listening.
That's right.
At 12:20 a.m. West Coast U.S. time.
If you're in the Central Time Zone, it's 2:20 in the morning. What are you doing? Anyway, all right. Well,
they're
thanks
watching
for being
us, John. That's what they're doing.
All right, here we go. John edited here. So, Scott, it was great hanging with you at ISTE.
It was fantastic, John. I can't thank you enough for just showing me the ropes and being a great friend, and it's been awesome.
How am I going to edit this? This is like 2 hours of video. I think
you just need to cut out all the entire podcast chat.
Yeah, we'll just cut out everything. Oh man, that's
just
so
the
fun.
Podcast chat. Just once we started talking about that, just cut that out.
All right. Well, I'm just stopping.